Welcome to Engineering Influence Podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. We're coming to you live from our 2024 Annual Convention and Legislative Summit in Washington, D.C. I'm pleased to be joined by Roger Gillian, Senior Vice President from Grayling Insurance Brokerage. Roger, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. Great to be here.
We're here now on our final day of the convention. How has it been for you?
It's been great. I love annual convention every year. It's one of the things I love about this industry and ACEC in particular. The camaraderie. These member firms who are here technically compete with one another, but the collaboration and camaraderie for the sake of the profession and for the sake of bettering the practice is second to none probably in, learned professions as far as trade organizations go. And it's a very small community. The AEC community may seem large, but there's a lot of close friendships, and I look forward to seeing everybody at this event and fall conference and state MO events throughout the year.
Great. What's new at BIT?
So the Business Insurance Trust is dynamic. It is very successful. It's made up of 8 trustees who donate their time and services for the good of the profession to help run the trust. We have a new trustee, Linda Moen, who is president of EKF Moen in St. Louis, Missouri. She just came on as a new trustee. So she brings that number up to 8, not including our trustee emeritus, Rob Overfield from Wyoming, who was past chair. Mike Klingner is our current chair, and Paul Boyce is our chair-elect. So have a dynamic group of trustees from across the country. Grayling Insurance Brokerage, for whom I work, is the program administrator of the BIT. And that partnership is very important to us, and it's a strong partnership. They're great friends, and we enjoy rowing in the same direction to provide insurance solutions for member firms.
That's great. What are some of the benefits that BIT members enjoy?
Sure. So there are a lot of them. We'll talk about convention. So something that's new with relation to benefits is for years the trustees have provided conference registration reimbursement for one person from a member firm to attend convention. We are now offering that for fall conference. So when we go to New Orleans later this year, a member firm can get their registration fees for fall conference reimbursed by the trustees for one person. And as we know, that's a material expense, especially for a small or a mid-sized firm. So that's a material benefit for a member firm who gets their insurance through the trust.
Absolutely.
That ties into our quarterly risk management webinars, because in order to be eligible to receive the conference reimbursement for New Orleans and other fall conferences moving forward, someone has to attend one of our 4 quarterly risk management webinars. So there's a real incentive to lean into bettering your firm through risk management by attending at least one of these webinars. And of course, they're quarterly, so there's 4 every year. On June 12th, our endorsed insurance provider, The Hartford, is going to host a webinar. I believe now they're called online classes, with respect to the topic of theft of equipment, particularly from vehicles. So people who have survey equipment, LIDAR, and other field services equipment, perhaps nuclear density gauges or drones that experience loss, could be a catalytic converter from underneath an inspection truck. The Hartford's going to talk about best practices to reduce and prevent theft of equipment, not just from vehicles, but primarily on that topic. So that's coming up on June 12, and we'll have another one near the end of the year. So folks who want to have their conference dues reimbursed for fall, tune in on June 12th, and they'll be eligible for that.
That's great. Why should a member firm get its insurance through the BIT?
So the deductible assistance program with the BIT is probably the bellwether reason, and I mean that in terms of tangible things that a firm can feel. So in addition to the conference reimbursement, the trustees will provide $250 for someone from a member firm that's in the trust that gets their insurance through the trust to join coalitions. So a mechanical, electrical engineer can be a part of CAMI, GEO, etc. And the trustees will pay $250 to offset those coalition dues. That's obviously an incentive for someone to go to coalitions. and
Right.
get involved and participate. So that's one reason. Another reason on the deductible assistance program with respect to auto and property, if someone gets their auto and their property insurance through the trust, then we have a deductible assistance program whereby an auto claim or a property claim allows that firm to seek reimbursement of $1,000, up to $1,000 per claim for, let's say you take a rock through your windshield on an inspection vehicle, or you have a property loss, a tree comes through your roof, heaven forbid. You can apply for $1,000 to put toward your deductible, and you can do that 10 times in a year. So obviously we hope nobody has 10 auto or property losses, but if someone does, let's say a hailstorm, damages a fleet of trucks, that firm can get deductible assistance up to $10,000 in a year from the trustees. On the professional liability side, a firm with gross revenues of $2.5 million or fewer can get $10,000 in deductible assistance to put toward their deductible on a settled professional liability claim. So the trustees picked that revenue metric because they recognize that for a smaller firm, paying a deductible for a PL claim is a material expense. So if a small firm has a PL claim and it gets resolved, then they can apply to the trustees, assuming they're in the program, and get $10,000 to offset the cost of that deductible. So that's a material benefit as well. Now, on a more macro level, why should a firm join the BIT? It's a terrific way to support ACEC and this industry and a firm's member organization, because Grayling and the trustees provide royalties based on premiums written to state member organizations. And member firms, depending on premium saturation, can receive a royalty as well. So by supporting the BIT, you're naturally supporting your state member organization who can apply for a royalty from the trustees. So it's a great way to support the industry, it's a great way to support your MO, and it's a way to recognize that ACEC made an intentional investment in designing an insurance program for engineers by engineers. And the only people eligible are ACEC member firms. So it's a wonderful affinity program. It supports the industry, it supports our member firms, and if you don't have your insurance through the BIT, you should really consider doing it.
Great. Well, thanks, Roger. I think our members really enjoy that information. It's great having you on the podcast. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Engineering Influence from ACEC.